Do you ever feel like you're caught in a storm of anxiety and worry? Like the weight of the world is just draining your energy, leaving you feeling scattered and overwhelmed? What if you could find a switch, a way to quiet that noise in your head and instantly reclaim your sense of calm? In this video, we're going to walk through Eckhart Tolle's most practical advice for grounding yourself in the present moment, especially when times get tough. This isn't about putting on a happy face or pretending your problems don't exist. It's about finding a deeper part of you, a place of stillness and intelligence that the chaos of the world can't touch. It's about learning how to stay switched on. That feeling of being drained? It's everywhere. It's that low hum of anxiety that follows you around all day, fed by news alerts, work deadlines, and personal struggles. You feel like you're being pulled in 100 different directions at once, your mind constantly racing with what you should have done yesterday and what might go wrong tomorrow. This mental static isn't just unpleasant, it's corrosive. It steals the joy from simple moments, it strains your relationships because you're never fully present, and it clouds your judgment, making every decision feel like a massive risk. It's like being trapped in a prison where the bars are made of your own thoughts. You're the prisoner, but in a strange twist, you're also the guard, constantly reinforcing the walls of your own cell. The mind loves to create a story, this me with all my problems, my past, and my fears. We get so lost in that story that we forget we're the ones living it. We forget we have the power to just step outside the drama. This is the state of unconsciousness Eckhart Tolle talks about. It's not being asleep, but being completely swept away by the thinking mind and the emotions it creates. You're in a reactive state. Someone cuts you off in traffic, and rage just erupts. You hear bad news, and anxiety grips you. In those moments, you're not in control. Your conditioning is. And when life is challenging, living like that is just a recipe for burnout. So what's the alternative? The alternative, the way to flip that switch, is what Eckhart Tolle calls presence. At its heart, presence is simply awareness. It's recognizing that there's a deeper you that exists beyond the noisy, chattering mind. Think of it like this: your thoughts are clouds passing through the sky. For most of your life, you've probably believed you are the clouds, the angry one, the worried one, the sad one. Presence is the moment you realize you're not the clouds at all. You're the sky. You're the vast, silent, unchanging space in which all thoughts and emotions come and go. This isn't just a nice metaphor. It's a real shift in how you see yourself. When you're present, you're no longer getting your sense of self from the nonstop stream of thoughts. You're rooted in the now. Tolle teaches that all our stress comes from denying the present moment. We're either stuck in the past, which we can't change, or anxious about the future, which isn't even here yet. The only place you have any real power is right now. Being switched on means being consciously connected to this moment. It's not about trying to stop your thoughts. Good luck with that. It's about no longer being completely swallowed by them. It's about creating a little space, a moment of stillness where you can watch your mind without getting carried away. From that space, you can respond to life's challenges with a clarity and wisdom that's impossible to find when you're lost in reactivity. So, how do we actually do it? How do we find this state when the storm is raging? The quickest doorway into presence is through your own body and your senses. This is the anchor that pulls you out of the mental chaos and plants you firmly in the now. The practice itself is surprisingly simple. The next time you feel that wave of anxiety start to build, deliberately pull your attention away from your thoughts and into your senses. What can you see right now? And don't just glance. Really look, notice the way light hits a surface, the pattern in the wood on your desk, the exact shade of green on a leaf. Look at it without putting a label on it. Just observe. Now, what can you hear? Listen for the sounds you usually tune out. The hum of a refrigerator, a distant siren, the sound of your own breathing. Just let the sounds come to you. Welcome them in. Next, bring your attention inside. What can you feel in your body? Feel the weight of your body on your chair. Feel the air on your skin. Can you feel the subtle aliveness in your hands? A kind of tingling energy field? Tolle calls this sensing the inner body, and it's a powerful way to pull your focus into the present. This simple act of coming to your senses breaks the cycle of obsessive thinking. You simply cannot be fully in your body and lost in anxious thought at the same time. Try it right now. Just take one conscious breath. Feel the air come in and feel it go out. For that 1 second, you weren't your problems. You were just here. That's the foundation, and it's always available. In our non-stop world, choosing stillness can feel like a radical act. But dropping tiny pockets of stillness into your day is one of the best ways to build up your resilience to stress. This doesn't mean you have to meditate for an hour. It's about creating mindful pauses, deliberate moments where you stop doing and just are. Tolle suggests a simple practice. Before you start something new, whether it's a work task or a conversation, just pause for 30 seconds. Don't use the time to plan what you're about to do. Just be still. Notice your breath or simply look around the room with quiet awareness. This tiny pause creates a gap in the stream of mental chatter. In that gap, a deeper alertness can come through. You start fresh, from a place of presence, instead of dragging the stress from your last activity into the next one. You can sprinkle these moments all through your day. Waiting for the coffee to brew? Take 3 conscious breaths. Before you get out of your car, just sit for a minute in silence. These small islands of stillness become your sanctuaries. They stop the tension from building up and train your brain to come back to the present over and over again. You're no longer a victim of the frantic pace of life. You're introducing a new rhythm of peace. This next technique gets right to the root of anxiety, your relationship with your own thoughts. Tolle's core teaching here is simple but life-changing. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness of your thoughts. When a negative thought pops into your head, I'm going to mess this up. What if something awful happens? The unconscious reaction is to believe it instantly. We become that thought, and the fear or sadness washes over us. The practice here is to create a little separation. Instead of getting tangled up in the thought, you just take a step back and become the witness. You can say to yourself, a thought. There is the thought that I am going to fail. You watch it the way you'd watch a cloud move across the sky. You see it, you acknowledge it, but you don't have to climb onto it and fly away. You just let it be, and like all thoughts, it will eventually pass on its own. But what if the thought is true? What if you really are in a tough spot? Observing the thought isn't about denying reality. It's about separating the raw facts of the situation from the dramatic story your mind is telling about it. The fact might be, I have 50 cents in my bank account. The mind story is, I'm ruined. This is a disaster. My life is over. The story is what causes the suffering. When you see the thought as just a thought, a conditioned mental habit, you strip it of its power over you. You're left with the bare facts, and you can deal with those facts much more effectively from a calm, present space. The real goal isn't just to find a few peaceful moments here and there. It's to weave presence into the fabric of your whole life. And the best way to do that is by using ordinary, routine activities as your practice. You don't need a meditation cushion. You can be present while washing the dishes, walking to your car, or listening to a friend. The secret is to give that one activity your full, undivided attention. Try it with a simple task. When you wash the dishes, instead of planning your week in your head, just wash the dishes. Feel the warmth of the water on your hands. Hear the sound of the plates clinking. See the soap bubbles. Be completely absorbed in the sensory experience. You've just turned a boring chore into a 2-minute meditation. Apply this to walking. Instead of rushing from A to B lost in your head, feel the contact of your feet on the ground. Notice the rhythm of your body. Look around and really see your surroundings. When you eat, actually taste your food. When you listen to someone, give them the gift of your full attention instead of just waiting for your turn to talk. This practice heals the split between your mind and your body. It's about being fully where you are, doing what you're doing. When you do this, your fulfillment is no longer tied to some future goal. It's found in the quality of awareness you bring to this very moment. Staying present in the modern world means dealing with its biggest challenge, digital overload. Our phones are amazing tools, but they're also designed to be distraction machines, constantly pulling us out of the now. Creating conscious boundaries with technology is a non-negotiable act of self-care. It's about deciding to be the master of your phone, not its slave. Try setting specific times to check social media instead of letting it interrupt you all day. Create phone-free zones or times, like leaving it out of the bedroom or keeping it in your pocket during meals. Every time you feel that automatic itch to check your phone and you choose not to, you're strengthening your presence muscle. Another powerful tool is journaling. When your mind feels like a tangled mess of thoughts, writing them down can bring incredible clarity. It's like decluttering your brain. You take the chaotic thoughts out of your head and put them on paper, where you can look at them more objectively. Ask yourself simple questions. What's really on my mind right now? Or what's one worry I can let go of today? The act of writing helps you process things and often shows you that the problems aren't as huge as your mind made them out to be. It's a way of bringing gentle awareness to your inner world. This brings us to the most profound practice of all, the one that gets to the heart of how to handle tough times. Eckhart Tolle's teaching here is radical. Don't just tolerate adversity, use it. Difficult situations are often the greatest catalysts for spiritual awakening. Life is going to throw you challenges. That's a given. But the suffering doesn't come from the challenge itself. It comes from our mental resistance to it. We have a story in our head of how life should be, and when reality doesn't match that story, we create friction, anger, and pain. The practice is to use a difficult moment as an alarm clock for presence. When a challenge appears, instead of tensing up and fighting what's happening, the invitation is to soften, to open up, and to accept the isness of this moment. Acceptance doesn't mean you're giving up. It's not passivity. In fact, true acceptance is the starting point for any wise action. When you stop fighting reality, you stop feeding the situation with negative energy. You align yourself with a deeper intelligence. Any action you take from that state of non-resistance will be infinitely more powerful because it will come from a place of peace, not fear. In any tough situation, just ask yourself this one question. Can I allow this moment to be exactly as it is? If you can, you've found a freedom that no external condition can ever take away. You discover that your inner peace doesn't depend on life being easy. This is how tough times become your greatest teacher. If these ideas speak to you, consider subscribing for more simple, practical guidance on finding inner peace. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one small technique you're going to try first? Just sharing your intention can be a powerful first step. Staying switched on isn't about building a fortress around your mind or getting rid of all your problems. It's about a fundamental shift in who you think you are. It's the journey from being lost in the drama of your thinking to resting in the quiet, spacious awareness that's always underneath. The tools we've talked about today, grounding in your senses, taking mindful pauses, watching your thoughts, and embracing what is, are not complex theories. They are practical doorways out of anxiety and into the freedom of the now, available in any moment. The key is to practice. You're going to forget. You'll get lost in thought 1,000 times. That's part of it. The magic is in the moment you realize you've been lost. Because in that moment of realizing, you're already present again. Be kind to yourself. This isn't about reaching some perfect future state. It's about gently and consistently coming back to this moment. Because right here, right now is where all your power is.